Thank you very much, Amelie, and welcome to everyone. It's good to see you. Yesterday we spoke about the Comfort Control app and the Comfort Connect LAN C gateway as the base for the connectivity, and of course about the new indoor air climate dashboard and voice control. Today we want to dive into the different options to integrate into smart homes and the special functionality for installers in the dashboard of the Zehnder IoT cloud. Let's start with the smart home integration. In order to discuss the possibilities to integrate Zehnder devices into a smart home, let's take a look about some topics that characterize the smart home. So, in the first place, in a smart home, technology from the home will be connected together to allow for a joint control. Appliances will be automated and processes will be optimized so that the devices can work together and are coordinated in processes that otherwise should be triggered manually, like switching on the lights when you enter a room and switching on the heating when you are at home or not. Furthermore, we have typically schedules in smart homes to automate things, but also rules that devices will interact to each other's, like light sensors or presence detection. And another characteristic of smart homes is that you typically have scenes. So scenes are situations that you can describe like cooking or being at home, being not at home, or having a party in which devices are combined to do exactly what is needed in that certain situation. So the devices work in groups. If we look now what is typically integrated in a smart home, then we can see that typically the first thing that people automate is light. There's also a low entry barrier because even at IKEA and Philips you can buy some lamps and easily integrate them. The next step is often shading, sun protection. Then other things come like security, locks, cameras, but especially also heating. And climate devices are also more and more integrated into smart homes. So what do people want to achieve with a smart home? It's of course to have more convenience, more comfort, and often also energy savings. So when we talk about the smart home integration of Zehnder ComfoAir Q and other devices, it's important to know that there are at least two concepts for integration. One is local integration. That's an integration where all the data is connected within the house and can stay within the house. And another integration is a cloud-based integration where the things depend on internet. The local implementation is of course the most secure, independence from internet. Even if there's no internet, everything works and you can feel very safe. But the cloud-based integrations offer more functionality, develop faster, offer more updates and so on. To give just a very brief overview, there are so many smart home manufacturers and systems, small systems, big systems, and so on. So there's a wide area, and the goal of Zehnder is to integrate with ever more smart homes. Let me go to the first step. The first smart home integration that we offer already for some years is KNX. KNX is a well-established home automation system available for many, many years. And we offer a Zehnder Comfort Connect LAN C gateway, a small box with instructions. The instructions describe completely what can be done. And we offer a small piece of software that allows the integration into KNX. How is it typically used? KNX is typically integrated by a system integrator. The system integrator programs the whole KNX system via the ETS5 software and will integrate the gateway and therefore the ComfoAir Q. The operation of a ComfoAir Q in such a case will be done 100% via the KNX system. So schedules, sensors, and operation can be done via the KNX system. At the same time, there is also a scenario that you connect the ComfoConnect LAN C gateway, but this is typically not combined. It's especially for service and maintenance that this can be done. So if you are in KNX, you're in KNX. What are the benefits of this KNX solution? It's an excellent solution for customers and installers who use or are depending on KNX. Furthermore, our device has configurable addresses that makes it particularly easy for system integrators to use. With the KNX C, we have a local integration that has no connection to the outside world, at least not via Zehnder, maybe via the KNX system. Now let me introduce the next type of integration into smart home. That's the local integration based on the ComfoConnect LAN C, so our standard gateway. On the left side, you see a house and you see a ComfoAir Q with a gateway and a router and the Comfo Control app. Now imagine that we have a smart home in that house, represented by this graphic. This smart home typically has an app to control the smart home, and you can easily integrate the Zehnder ComfoAir Q into the smart home via the connection, via the local area connection, and by using the app of the smart home to start the integration. Typically, this could be done by the end user, but there are also smart home systems that are configured by professionals. So there are both scenarios are possible. Now, what is the advantage of the connection via the ComfoConnect LAN C gateway, so the standard gateway? The advantage is that this gateway allows multiple connections and also the connection to the Zehnder IoT cloud with the indoor climate dashboard, with the data storage, and with the APIs. In case you have a local integration to your smart home, it is not very common to use the Zehnder voice control because all operations of your ventilation system will typically be done via the smart home. The fact that we offer multiple connections, one to the smart home and one to the Zehnder IoT cloud, is of course a great benefit because we can do remote support. Now, there is another way to integrate into smart home, and that will be introduced by Ercan.
Thank you, Peter-Maarten. I will now take over the presentation. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce you the so-called cloud API on a concrete usage scenario. But before we jump to the usage scenario, allow me 2 sentences to the cloud API. My colleague Peter-Maarten has already shown you one type of connection interface, the local API. The local API characteristic is that it doesn't need an internet connection. That was already mentioned by Peter-Maarten. The cloud API, what I'm going to show you now, is an interface that needs an internet connection. So to make use of this API, you need an internet connection that is working. For all our audience who are more technical afield, the cloud API is an internal wording for an interface that is based on a REST API. But now let's jump to the use case. I would like to introduce you Mr. Müller. Mr. Müller is 44 years old. He is an engineer and he's interested in technology and also in technology in general. And with this interest, Mr. Müller has created his own sensors to measure the indoor temperature and also the CO2 concentration in the room. Furthermore, he has connected these sensors to the smart home system Open Hub. With this integration, he is able to act on the data that is sent by the sensor. For example, taking the indoor temperature to acting on the heating in his rooms. Mr. Müller is also a proud owner of a Zehnder ComfoAir Q, and he would like to integrate his ComfoAir Q also to the OpenHub smart home system to use more extended usage scenarios. But Mr. Müller has a problem. He doesn't know how to do it. So he get in touch with you as a partner and ask for a possibility. You as a partner for sure know already the Zehnder REST API, and you tell Mr. Müller how he can get access on it and how to use it. Well, with this new information, Mr. Müller already start this new project to integrate ComfoAir Q to the OpenHub smart home system. For the very first beginning, he needs to use the ComfoConnect LAN C gateway to connect the Zehnder ComfoAir Q to the Zehnder cloud. This is a pre-requirement to make use of the Zehnder REST API. Next, he is going to the developer portal, register here, and get access to the REST API. On the developer portal, he not only get access to the REST API, he even get access to all the documentation how to use the REST API. We even provide examples how you can integrate the your ComfoAir Q over the REST API to OpenHub smart home system. So with this all information and help, Mr. Müller is very quickly able to integrate the ComfoAir Q to the OpenHub system. And using more, let me say, advanced extended usage scenario. An extended usage scenario could be, for example, if he's starting cooking, so turn on his oven, he can automatically set the ventilation speed to max to get really better indoor air climate proactively. Well, Mr. Müller is more than happy at first that he has successfully finished his project to integrate ComfoAir Q to the OpenHub, and more than thankful for your tip you have given as a partner. The example that I have shown you here on this use case is one of many examples that is existing how you can make use of our cloud API to integrate Zehnder products to systems. With systems, I mean all systems that are able to make use of REST APIs. I hope this usage scenario gives you a good overview what we can do with the API and what possibilities are open to you and also for your customers. With this information, I would like to hand over to Constantin, who is going to give us more information to our IoT, to our indoor dashboard for the partner.
Thank you very much, Ercan. As just mentioned, I am happy to demonstrate our indoor climate dashboard. Just the technical information, we share the screen over the webcam, so if you don't see the whole screen, you might adapt your window of Microsoft Teams very quickly. And currently, we jumped right into our indoor climate dashboard, and the role that we currently see here is the installer. So I already opened my device overview, and I have 4 devices here on screen from 4 different customers. On the right side, we can see the address of each ventilation unit. One is based in Switzerland, the next in Netherlands, Germany, and another one in Grenich in Switzerland as well. So first I want to explain you the logic how we connect devices from end users to such an installer company. The end user can connect to a company, and then the device is being listed here in this overview, and the installer can assist and monitor the device. For example, on on the bottom, we can see that the next filter is due, and we get this message that the filter needs to be replaced. The device is always assigned to the whole company. That gives us the advantage as an installer company to switch work from one employee to the next. So it's not specifically to one user, it's always to the whole company. And the data policy that we implemented here is on default, we only see static metadata information, not any further detailed information from a device or the controls. For that, the end user would need to give us our remote access as an installer, but we don't look into that now. We did this already yesterday, and now we want to have a look on my settings as an installer and how I can manage my company and my employees. So I switched over to my settings. I have regular application settings, information for my company, and personal profile information. And further down, we can see our employees that are all connected to this company. First, I am logged in as Susanne Bauer, who is the administrator of Klima, Kälte, Lüftung. And we have two roles, basically. It's the administrator and a user. And the difference is that an administrator can always add or remove additional employees from this company. This can easily be done by proactively inviting them, just by providing the first, last name, and email address, and then an invitation is sent out and can be accepted by the employee. I'm going to cancel this, and what we already prepared here is the other way around. So we can see that Peter Luft on the right side has this user icon already. He was previously accepted as a user for this installer company, and in the middle we have this exclamation mark from Fritz Müller, so I get a little bit of attention here, and this user signed up for the indoor climate dashboard and connected to this company and needs now approval. And I can easily do that or deny if this user doesn't belong to my company. That's basically the whole hierarchy logic. We try to keep it simple and straightforward for our installers. The next thing I would like to show you is a switchover for a use case with indoor climate sensors as an end user. For that, I quickly switch browsers and already logged in as an end user. And what Ercan previously mentioned and explained to us is the capabilities of API, so application programming interfaces. And we use that to integrate an external sensor, and we did this with the NetAtmos sensor. So we connected this sensor with our cloud, and we import the data. The sensor gives us 4 data points. We have temperature, the CO2 level, humidity, and noise. And what this additional device gives us is the ability to monitor our indoor climate in one specific room. And we did this in this case here with the family. And what we monitored and detected was a very interesting use case and behavior. This family always gathers for dinners regularly in the evening. And on Friday nights, the 2 children that are already in university, they come back home and join the dinner. And then we can detect a peak in the CO2 levels, and our installed ventilation unit didn't quite cover this. So we would need to actively increase the fan speed to level out the CO2 increase on the Friday nights. We can clearly see this here on the temperature and CO2 levels that I just explained during the whole week. We can see it's in an adequate range around roughly 1000 ppm. And then here on Friday night, we have this peak that we regularly detected. And with this, we can easily program and time program to the ComfoAir Q that regularly would start at 5 o'clock every Friday night to cover the more people that gather in the living room for the family dinner. This is a very nice advantage of the IoT climate dashboard and how even external sensors can interact with our system over an API. So let me quickly switch back. And the IoT platform that I just presented, the indoor climate dashboard and additionally voice controls, they are available as a beta version from Zehnder. That means that the product is not yet officially launched, but interested customers can sign up and take advantage of these functionalities that I just presented. What we need for that as a requirement would be a ComfoAir Q, a ComfoConnect LAN-C gateway, and a smartphone. And then I can easily connect the dash to our indoor climate dashboard and use voice control. You can easily do that by signing up on the landing page that we present here in our slide, or contact your local sales representative from Zehnder. With that, I would like to hand back to Peter-Maarten.
Well, thank you very much, Constantin, for explaining the indoor climate dashboard, and also Ercan for explaining the REST API. With this, we come to the end of our presentation, and there's still time left for answering some questions. So I'm just taking a look into the chat if my mouse is working, and it is working. And I see there are no questions yet. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them. I see also one user action, it seems.
Yeah, we have one hand raised from Mark.
Okay. Is Mark able to unmute himself, or should we do it?
I am, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Yeah. And
It's very exciting to see that there's an API access to the Zehnder Comfort solution. Thank you also for your presentation. I've enjoyed it a lot. I am, however, missing one thing, because in my experience, internet is not always there. And I would hate it if the end user smart home solution would fall flat in cases of internet downtime. Have you guys also considered an edge cloud solution where there would be maybe a limited API on the client side that doesn't need the cloud interface, but does provide with like basic things like changing the modes and reading out sensor data, which is available anyway locally?
Shall I will take this one for the moment, because currently the current local API that we have made, we offer to smart home manufacturers. And the reason is that the programming of our current local API is something for professionals, and we cannot support end users yet. But while we continue to develop new type of gateways, this will be more simple, and we can certainly consider this in future.
Thanks for your answer. I have a quick follow-up. I would be one of those installers. Who do I talk to look at the specifications of this
The first contact person is always the sales in the country you are.
Okay.
And from there, we can investigate further and be in contact with you and talk about details, what we can offer at this moment. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. I see two more questions popping up in the chat. One is from Michael Janssen. Would a ComfoAir Q not automatically tune up when CO2 levels rise? If you connect CO2 sensors to your ComfoAir Q, it will automatically rise if the CO2 level increases. So that's something we have already, not with the Netatmo sensor, but the Netatmo sensor is especially to create awareness. And as Constantin explained, to have pattern recognition and to make sure that you can proactively set your ventilation to a higher speed before the CO2 level rises. So it's about the understanding the indoor climate and adapting the system to it. Is that okay as an answer, Michael?
Yes, thanks.
Then there's one more question I have to read from Thomas P. How can I find detailed information about the REST API? How does the authentication work? Would it be possible to use the REST API with the ConfoConnect KNX-C device? Well, that's at least two questions. The first part I would definitely like to give to Ercan.
Thank you, Peter-Maarten. There are even three questions. At first, I will answer the first two ones, and then I will give the third one to you, Peter-Maarten. Well, for your question about the REST API, the documentation, this will be available, as I mentioned, on our developer portal. That is not available for now, but it will be activated very soon. So if you're interested to the REST API, I just want to encourage you to sign to the beta program. We will get in touch with you, and we will also onboard you on the REST API. For the second authentication, how the authentication is working is a quite technical question you are asking here. We will use OAuth for our authentication. If you want to use of our REST API, you need an user account and password that you have to set with the API call to make use of it. But as I mentioned to you, there will be a more detailed documentation available on the Zehnder developer portal, beside of the examples how you can make use all of these things. So to KNX, I would like to give to you, Peter-Maarten, to answer the API question. I hope I could answer it, Thomas. Otherwise, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Great.
For the KNX, the answer is that for the REST API, you need the ConfoConnect LAN-C and the IoT cloud. That's the base for it. So if you have a KNX installation, you would need another gateway to do it. But things could be complicated because if KNX is connected, the KNX system rules. So the KNX system really determines what the ventilation is doing. And you could use the REST API to read out the data mainly. That's the key use case if you combine it with KNX. As time is up, and I see there are no new questions, I hope we could answer the question to your satisfaction. Perfect. Then I would like to thank you very much for your participation, your questions, and the discussion even. And I hope to see you soon again. Goodbye.